Let's just see if that worked everywhere. Open it. All right. Let me look and see if I figure out how to do this. All right. Let's go into it here. All right. Sample live video. Okay. Streaming software. It's my Facebook stream key. Do I need that for this part? Channel. Zip. Let's try to share. Maybe. That's fine. All right, let's take a look. Are we doing that yet? Do you know how to this? Aha, there it is. Pop that in here. I'm going to just see if it's going on. It must be going on YouTube. It's saying it is good. Oh, it must connect. Okay, hold on. Hold on. It might just be only working on YouTube right now. My channel. Studio. Single one. I am live. It says I'm live. Perfect. Ha! It's working. What else does it say here? 21 hours ago, which I can get rid of those. Oh, there we go. I know what we're doing now. Okay, now how did this work? Did it work? That is very interesting. These things. Let's do this. Why is that not working yet? Hang on. Edit. I'm just getting everything together if anybody's watching me struggle. I really thought this would be easier, but it appears to be difficult. Let's see if we can figure this out. Maybe, finally? I don't know. Let's see if this thing works yet. Okay. Not the most awesome. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute, like that guy from the thing. Okay, here we go. That should go. Okay. Did that go, or are we going the other way with it now? Okay, cool. Got a couple of people on that one. And now is this connecting? This is not going super duper well. It should do better. Ha! It's working. All right. Okay. Let's see if anybody is working here. And then boom. All right. Let's see if people are joining. Should be able to, let's see the chat. Ha. Cool. Perfect. Thanks, Josh. That's awesome. I'm using a new platform called Restream, so I can have people watch from my YouTube channel and from Facebook, and just sort of got it last night and still trying to get used to it. So we should be good. Let's wait for a couple more people to go on. If you have any questions or any comments, just pop them in the chat. My goal today is sort of just get used to doing this a little bit differently. Before I would do sort of almost like a guided meditation to a degree, and then that kind of would be everything. And what I sort of realized is that I think more people need a few more tactile ideas in terms of what you can do around stress, because sitting quietly and meditating, over time, if you do it consistently, you get good at it. But what happens is you don't know how to stay calm in situations that are frustrating. Like, if you're getting stressed at work, or you're in traffic and something happens, or you're dealing with family or some sort of confrontation on the street, like, there's better ways to handle anxiety and stress. There's ways we can help with sleep and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what we're sort of looking at this point. Just gonna pop a reminder out to people that we've got this thing going. Okay. Mm-hmm. Ah. Okay. That should work. Cool. All right. Let's see if I see more people joining. I'm excited about this. All right. All right. Well, I will start with what I had thought of in terms of this. Like, essentially, I don't necessarily always call it meditation because some people find it. They find the idea of meditation a bit overwhelming, and so what I want to do is essentially give people techniques just through breathing and different thought process that will help relax and deal with cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which can then affect a bunch of different things, affects sleep, affects I notice when I get tired it affects my hunger level, obviously things like that. So what I typically start with in this situation is one of the easiest ways to get started is wherever you're sitting or standing or whatever you're doing is just make a really, really tight fist as quick as you can. And, well, not as quick as you can, but as tight as you can, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And then we're going to do it again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And hopefully, you'll notice if it's just in your upper body, like obviously because I'm in the wheelchair, it's going to be just in my upper body. But you can typically try and tense other parts of your body, your legs, and all those other kinds of things. And what happens with that is it gives the body a chance to relax real quick. So we're physically putting ourselves in a bit of a different state. And then at that point, whether your eyes are closed or not, we're just going to take a couple deep breaths, and I'll count you in for that. So we're going to go in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to look like this. Another round. And you just want to do that as many times as you sort of feel the need to. But even after those couple of breaths, I already noticed I can feel my body changing a little bit. Now, obviously, like I close my eyes because it's automatic. But if I'm in a situation where I'm getting frustrated, for instance, maybe I'm overwhelmed at work, it might just be a quick whew. I'd make sure I drop my shoulders and I take the stress out that way, right? It just becomes whatever makes you feel better in the moment. I think there's a lot of emphasis and overemphasis on like that you have to do everything in such a form-fitting way. I'm not taking anything away from long yoga classes and long meditations and things like that. But I think for most people, you just don't want to feel so anxious all the time. Right? And so having a way to, and then just take the opportunity to take a couple moments for yourself. And then over time, what you end up doing is, and then just after doing that a few times, you're breathing deep. It doesn't matter if you breathe through your nose or through your mouth, whatever works for you. Um, it tends to, most people, even if you're in a public setting, if you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, they most likely look at it as a sigh, but it can be just more something that changes your physiology. The other thing that I've noticed, and this is again just for me, is that my sleep obviously is a big factor in how well I deal with stress or how anxious I tend to get out in the world. So obviously, in a busy world that we're doing all these different things, we have all this stuff going on, and um, it can be difficult to go to bed on time if we drink caffeine too late, or we eat something too late, or we're up watching our favorite Netflix show. Like, I'm not judging anybody for doing all the stuff that we all do, which I do included, but sleep is definitely something that I've tried to get more consistent in my life with, because it tends to help everything. It helps my digestion, it helps a bunch of different things. And the other is hydration, right? Little bottle of water here with me, and I typically try and drink no specific amount. I just want to feel hydrated. And I was talking to actually one of my bosses at work today, and they were talking about how um, I always admired their energy level, and she said, well, often if you feel a little bit tired, probably dehydrated, just drink a bit of water, and you probably perk back up. And I know that to be true for myself, because as soon as she said it, I was like, that's 100% right. So it it's a lot to do with the small things, like obviously taking a breath, getting some good sleep, and drinking water is going to be the basics. It's hard for me to sit here and talk about diet in terms of, like, I'm not going to tell you to eat a bunch of vegetables and go organic and do all these things, because like I eat fruits and veg. I do. And but there are also some days where I eat way too much salt and I have snacks and those types of things. What you're trying to do in most of those situations is do better than you did before. So it's hard sometimes for people to really conceptualize what they're doing in their diet, because a lot of people don't really pay attention to what they're eating. I mean, obviously, if you're weightlifting or you're trying to lose weight, I was on Weight Watchers for a while, still am. Dropping a few pounds down, didn't quite hit my goal weight, went back up a little bit, those types of things. So I use the app to track my food, and it just helps me stay at a level and at a weight that makes me feel good. Um, but most people, I think if most people sat and wrote down everything they ate in a day, regardless of calories and protein and all that kind of stuff, you can track that stuff later, but you would be blown away by how much you eat and how many calories you consume and sodium and all those types of things that just, regardless of like all these medical professionals that come on Facebook and tell you how bad everything is for you and all that stuff, just simply if you looked at it in terms of how you feel, if we started looking at journaling and noting things down for food on how you feel, that's something that I think is super important. I think the most important thing that we don't focus on as much anymore is how we feel. So it, I think that's one of the things that has been so life changing for me, is how I feel, right? Um, and so everything that I do, since I know that that works well, is I've made that my mission almost with everything that I do. Obviously, you can't always hang out with just awesome, funny people all the time, and you're gonna run into different issues and different people and different things. But I try and honestly do everything I can to feel better than I did the day before. Like that's always my goal, is to feel as good or as better than I did the day before. And obviously, like there's no end to that, in my opinion. So it's it's a little bit of exercise, and again, a lot of this stuff is overwhelming for a lot of people, right? So it's it's about trying to find that small thing that you can do that helps you feel good, feel better than you did the day before, and then maybe you add another thing in. So maybe the first thing that you do is you make a commitment to start drinking more water the tomorrow than you did today, and then you step that up. And then obviously, if you're not, if you're not pissing like 15 times a day, you know, you'll find the right amount of water for you and how you feel, and it'll change based on weather and temperature and how much you ate and salt and all that kind of stuff. But you'll get that dialed in, and maybe that's the only thing that people focus on for that first thing. And then the next thing after that is, hey, you know what? I'm eating too much salt. I'm going to cut that down. I'm not going to snack late at night anymore. I'm going to cut that down for a week, along with my water. And then once you start doing that, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, my sleep feels better. Right? I sleep better. Now I've got some more energy. Now that I've got more energy because I've been drinking more water and taking in less salt, I'm sleeping better. So now I have some more energy to go to the gym every day. Or not every day, but like every couple days a week. Or I go for, not even to overwhelm yourself to start going to the gym or anything, but even just to go for a walk, or in my case, a roll. Now the weather's getting better again, right? So there's a cascading effect to the idea of starting the one thing to help manage your stress and your cortisol. And what'll happen when you start doing all those things is stress starts to take care of itself, right? And then once you start feeling significantly better and you notice how much better you feel, then at that point you're just it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it builds on itself. So then you start looking for all the things that make you feel good. You start watching more uplifting videos. You start hanging out with different people. You start trying to look at ways you can then, really contribute to the community in a positive way. You start helping other people. Like that's all I'm doing here with this is, as far as the numbers on this stream, it ain't that high right now, but it's my opportunity to help people feel better, hopefully, right? And so that's what I want to be here for. I'm not trying to make this a lecture. I was hoping that there would be more people on here and maybe they would ask some questions, but those are the things that I wanted to talk about tonight was how do you make how do you make small changes that can help decrease stress and anxiety, right? Let's see if I can maybe share this thing out one more time and remind people just to see if we can get it going. I'll do another window of Facebooking. All right, let's see. Let's see to see if we can get more people popping on here. Okay, let's see. Okay. So, since Josh, you are the rock star that has joined this situation, do you have any comments or questions or things that you want to work on that I might be able to help you with? Like, do you have some? How's your sleep? Are you able to? Are you able to? Uh, you feel pretty good in the day. Like, how's your stress level these days? Any type of that stuff. Just curious about what you got going on for yourself. Okay. Yeah. All right. Don't need the overlay. I don't think. No, I don't need that. Now I'm playing with settings for a moment here. And I hit this. Just there we go. Neat. This thing's kind of cool. I'm using a platform called Restream, and I want to be able to go from YouTube and to Facebook and eventually maybe LinkedIn. For some reason, it never lets me do this on Instagram. So let me see if um, if I can maybe do a live on Instagram from my phone, and then go from there. And as a result, there, Josh, you might have to hear some of the same stuff again. But again, this is an opportunity for people to get some. Well, it's an opportunity for me to continue to grow my craft, as they say. Let's see here. Do I go live? Live. If that will work. That seems very zoomed in. Oh, I know what we're doing. Flip the screen around. Hello, all. Just give me 1 sec to figure this out. Hey, that's cool. Okay, so now I am currently live on YouTube and Facebook, and I decided to use my phone as a secondary platform and go live on it as well. So I'm here tonight talking about stress and anxiety reduction tips. And we don't have anybody on there yet either, so I might not have the greatest luck at this moment. And then next week, maybe I'll have a better chance of figuring out how to make this thing work a little better. But see who pops on my live on Instagram here. Nobody there yet. All right. Doesn't look like that was the best option there either. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to add. I mean, that was sort of what I was wanting to speak on. And I think, honestly, I'll probably, cover those points again once I get more people, in the next coming weeks. Also, I'm just going to be temporarily out of my apartment while they fix my elevator. So I'll be in a different location. So doing this next week might be an issue. It might actually be a couple weeks away, but it'll give me an opportunity to perfect my craft, hopefully, with this and figure out what's going on. Anyway, I think based on the fact that the thing started at 7 o'clock and we've got not a ton of people going, I don't want to keep you just to be supportive. I really appreciate you, Josh. Been a long time since we've seen each other, and a lot's gone on since then. So I'm glad that you popped on, and I'm glad you gave me the support. And I'll probably give it a couple more minutes here, and then see if I get anybody else. But if not, we'll you can pop out whenever you want. I don't know what you're up to right now, but if it's calming at all for you to hear my voice ramble about almost nothing at this point, then I'm more than happy to be that guy for you. But yeah, I really sort of developed a passion around wanting people to feel less stress. That was my big thing. Is like I just want people to be in a state where they feel a little less anxious throughout their day. Like I really started to develop this ability not too long after the last time we had our lunch there, Josh, that I started to develop this ability to sort of better manage my emotional state. And then once it started really being noticeable for me, the changes, and I was less anxious and less reactionary to people and all those types of situations. I just wanted everybody to know about the things that I've been doing that have really been helping me get to another level. And I think based on where the world is, whatever side of the fence you're on doesn't really matter anymore. I think we've all kind of lost our way as human beings a little bit. And I think finding center for a lot of people, finding some peace is the best way to do that. And so that's why I've offered to do these things and trying to use this software and trying to get it going and trying to figure all this stuff out. So it's really, I really do appreciate that you've been here and listened to me ramble on. So, but we're coming up on 40 minutes or so of waiting for peeps, and it doesn't seem to be clicking. Can't seem to get anybody on the old Instagrams either there. So I think we might be calling her a night. Nobody seems to care that much. There we go. But I'm going to cut her short. Really appreciate you. Hopefully you're hearing this. Thank you all. Thank you. Well, thank you all. I mean, you're the only one, but there you go. Thanks so much. And we'll go from there.